This is the Grand Canyon Hiker Dude Show, powered by Hike Tribe, a community dedicated to helping each other hike our best hikes. Now, here's the host of the Grand Canyon Hiker Dude Show, my hubby and the co-founder of Hike Tribe, Brian Special.
Thanks, Zena. Rim2Rim season 2025 is here. Zena and I were lucky enough to get a cabin on the North Rim on opening night, and I have to tell you, the only word I can use to describe how I felt when we got there was giddy. It's about a 5-hour drive to the north side from Phoenix, and if you ever get a chance to do it, it gives you some of the most unique scenery you can find anywhere in the country, from the saguaros and the Sonoran Desert around Phoenix to seeing Sedona off in the distance on I-17, then the cool pines and snow-capped San Francisco peaks and Flagstaff, skirting the painted desert north of Flag, crossing the Navajo Bridge over Marble Canyon, driving alongside the majestic Vermilion Cliffs, ascending the Kaibab Plateau to Jacob Lake, where you must stop for cookies or a milkshake, and then the final 45 miles through the aspens and the meadows where the bison roam, past the North Kaibab trailhead, and finally to the iconic Grand Canyon Lodge perched on the edge of the North Rim. It is a journey you'll never forget, all before a hike you'll never forget, if Rim2Rim is your next move, as it would be for me at 1 o'clock the next morning. But before then, dinner in the lodge dining room, where the food might just surprise you because it is darn good. And the views, well, of course, they're even better as you look out over the canyon. Then at around 9 p.m., what I was there for: a conversation with a group of 4 ladies who had just completed an eventful Rim2Rim from south to north. It was the second time for all of them, but the first time they had hiked it as a group. By the end of the conversation, we were calling them Jackie and the Crazies. Jackie Kunkel, who you've heard on the show before, is 59, Kendra Yost, 67, Carrie Repke, 53, and Ashley Young, 48. They had the hike of a lifetime, but the ending was marred by tragedy. Just before they surfaced on North Kaibab, they came upon what would become the first hiking fatality of the season, which of course left them shaken. This is the Grand Canyon Hiker Dude Show. I'm so excited to hear about your Rim2Rim on opening day, going from south to north, but we have to start with something that happened at the very, very end of your hike today. We're talking 0.3 of a mile from the top of North Kaibab, when you guys were, literally stopped in your tracks. Can you just share with us what happened today? And I know that this was a fairly traumatic situation for you, so just let us know what happened, if you would, please.
On our way up, we were really happy that we were almost done with the hike, because we had started very early in the morning, and we had gotten stopped by a volunteer ranger just before Coconino Overlook. And they had told us that there was a medical emergency up a little farther and that we might just want to hang out here. So we had thought, well, let's go see how far we can go. And we got up to close to within about 30 yards of the medical emergency. And another volunteer came down and asked us if we would just stay there. All hikers were asked to stay kind of behind where we were. And what we had heard was that, really sad, a gentleman, and we don't know the circumstances, but what had trickled down was that a gentleman had cardiac arrest, and they were working to revive him. And we had seen a helicopter come in. We had seen family up there at the point where they were working on him, because we were about 30 yards away. And
they had a tarp for privacy.
Yes.
They had a tarp.
So they had a tarp to cover the scene as they were working on him. They had a tarp to cover the
scene so we couldn't see what was going on, for privacy and respect.
Yeah. So we waited, and it was good, probably hour and 20 minutes, until we were then told.
Well, can we back up a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
So they did the AED defibrillator that they had used that on him about 4 times. And then there were several people there trying to perform CPR on him as well. I don't know how long after that we actually saw an IV. And so we thought that was a good sign. Okay, like, you know, he's revived. They are giving him fluids, so that's got to be good. And then I want to say it was probably 45 minutes, 50 minutes after that is when one of the volunteers came down to us and said, you know, we're going to have you guys start coming up single file, just walk by. And they were very nice and respectful about it. And so when we got in single file line and we started walking up, and I necessarily didn't really want to look over. I mean, I was curious, but I just, out of respect, but it was hard not to notice that when you walked up that this gentleman was laying on a tarp and then a tarp was covering him and you couldn't see any movement. Like, it was just no movement.
They had his body covered.
Yeah.
When we the family was there. When we surfaced out at the trailhead, there was an ambulance and some medics there speaking with some people. So we can only assume the worst had happened.
Left.
Yeah, the helicopter had left.
A helicopter had come in. And then we were like, well, okay, if the helicopter's here, then that's got to be a good sign. But then, the helicopter never showed.
Yeah.
Like, they never came and got him.
So, I mean, our assumption was obviously the worst. Everybody was very, very respectful, very somber. Not a terrific end of the day for anybody,
I mean, no one said one word when they walked by.
No.
I mean, we were probably one of the first ones to walk by, but you could just tell everybody was just very quiet, respectful, it's like they were paying their respects to the family. And
Well, I mean, this was just a few hours ago.
Yes.
You guys, obviously your hike was delayed and you had to get out of there and get back to the Grand Canyon Lodge finally, take your shower, have dinner. So it's been a few hours now, but I mean, is any of this sinking in? I mean, how are you guys, how are you handling it? I mean, you're okay? That's a traumatic thing to see.
Yeah, actually, when we got back to the cars and we came back to the lodge, I actually thought, I don't think I want to do this again. I really thought, well, I don't want to chance it. And we've got plans to come back next year. And I thought, is this something that I'm going to continue doing? It was unreal.
Yeah.
Like what we just witnessed and what we just saw, that could happen to any of us.
Yeah.
One thing, too, is when we were talking to the Rangers, and they were, of course, saying, we're sorry, we got to hold you up. But everybody would say, it's okay. We want the best for what's ever happening to the person. Mm-hmm. And so really our hearts go out to the family.
Of course. I'm sorry that you guys had to go through that too. Just a sad situation all the way around. Obviously, just being a few hours removed, there's nothing official yet that anybody's heard. But you guys were obviously there and saw, and we know what happened. And hopefully, by the time this podcast comes out, we have some more details on exactly what happened. The one thing I did hear is that NPS, because it was 0.3 miles down the trail, search and rescue was able to get to him, I think, within 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And so, and they got the AED on him and did everything that they could. So, heroic effort by them as always. They have to deal with these situations, almost on a daily basis, not necessarily to this level with this outcome, but, the NPS and the search and rescue teams deserve our gratitude as well. But man, what an awful way to end a hike. And of course it's not about you guys, it's about this gentleman and his family. But wow, our thoughts of course go out to him, and it's just another reminder of the dangers of hiking in the canyon, no matter what happened to him. But let's transition a little bit here, and because this is a day of celebration. This is supposed to be a time when you're celebrating. This is something that you guys have worked towards for so long now, and I know you did it. You did it already last September.
So Carrie and I did it in September.
Right. And we had you on the podcast, and you were fantastic.
Yep. And Ken, thank you.
Wasn't she, guys?
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And Kendra did it in May of last year with, so it was in 1 year. She did it with some of her other friends. And Ashley, you did it.
2017. I
Okay.
did north to south.
But the first time, all four of you together.
Yes.
So how did this all come together with the four of you finally saying, you know what, let's do this, girls? Of course, it's Jackie. Everyone's pointing at Jackie, the ringleader here.
Yes, I was the instigator. And I think, I had instigated it in September on the way to the canyon with Carrie and our niece Becky, who did it with us in September. I said, I just want you to know I have those reservations
Yes, I remember
in
this.
May. As soon as we were done with the hike, they're like, okay, we're in. And unfortunately, Becky couldn't do it this year, which is why Ashley came with us. And Kendra's like, I'm in. So that's how we kind of all, got to. And May, I want to tell you what, May is, we had fantastic weather today.
Yeah.
May was much cooler than September.
Yeah, you got a much better chance at least of it being cooler. And this early in the season, it's going to be in the 90s tomorrow in South Kaibab when I head over there.
Yeah, I don't envy you.
No, not looking forward to that. Going south to north is definitely the way to do it, especially this season. But you guys doing this as a group with four of you. How was it with just, the whole accountability thing as you prepared for it? What were you doing to prepare? Because I see your Facebook posts. You're in our Facebook group, and you guys are always updating everyone, which is fabulous and so helpful. What were you doing to train and hold each other accountable to what you had coming up?
Well, so the first thing I had my husband, who's sitting over
Rod,
there.
let's go.
I had
The cookie man.
The cookie man. And he did bring us cookies today.
Of course he did. He's got a role. He knows it.
I had him redo the spreadsheet. And he actually did, the spreadsheet. And he actually, what he did was he added in, which was really cool for us to kind of see, he added in, you know how last year I wrote the times that we arrived at each place?
Yeah, I remember.
He made that an actual column so we could have it compare our time this year to our time in September.
Yeah.
So that was kind of nice to have.
Kind of gamify it a little bit.
Yeah. So that was one thing. But I did hold the girls to Zoom calls like I did, right? So
You guys do you live in different places?
Mesa.
Okay, all live in Phoenix, the Phoenix area. Okay, what did you guys think was the most effective, and we say this is a rapid reaction. You just came out, you don't know how sore you're going to be yet, but surely there are things that happened on the hike that you're like, wow, I'm glad I did that to train for. What do you think were the best training methods that you guys
know
had?
what you did.
Unless they want to go, let them go.
Well, I would say all of us are active. All of us go to the gym. All of us stay strong.
That's the most important thing by far.
Carrie and Ashley are runners. Jackie definitely does lots of hiking. I like to bike and hike. So we're all active, but to bump it up to Grand Canyon, we actually, have to do more distance and more elevation because we don't get that usually in just our daily hikes and workouts. So that's pretty much what we did, keeping distance, keeping it longer, and then doing more elevation.
Like how much distance are we talking about, and like how often?
We usually try, Jackie probably gets out a little more than I do. I usually once a week. I think our longest one was 17 miles in South Mountain. Mm-hmm. And then our last hike, we went to Mount Wrightson and did that
Tucson?
before taper. Yeah.
Is that Tucson? Mount Wrightson? Yeah.
Just south of
Tucson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but we all, one of the other things in addition to what Kendra's saying, one of the other things that we all do is we all have some regular workout too, other than like they run. I mean, you guys can speak for yourselves of what you do, but I mean, we do, we all lift weights, we all do that. So keeping our muscles strong. I mean, hiking and running are, one thing, but you still got to work your whole body. And so that I do it about 5 times a week. And my husband and I, we walk every morning. Every morning. If we're not hiking, we walk every morning. So we walk anywhere from like 3 to 5, maybe 6 miles, depending. And we don't just walk, we walk fast. So we're always on our feet.
So when you have those regular routines,
Yeah.
right, it's building that foundational strength.
Yeah.
And so training and ramping yourself up for something like the canyon, I assume that just makes it easier.
Yeah. Well, Ashley's got something she wants to tell
Let's
you.
go, Ashley.
Okay. God,
We're listening.
thanks. Put me on the spot, Jackie.
Oh, what could this be?
Well,
We're talking about training.
I know, right? So, I run 3 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, I actually got a personal trainer. And I said, hey, I'm training for the Grand Canyon. So I would take my pack to my training sessions with me at 4:15 in the morning, twice a week. And then the other days I would run. But anyway, so I'd go to my training session. I'd wear my pack with 20-pound weights in it. And then he would have me do specific exercises. Like I would do box jumps. Or I would do step up, step down, step up,
With the
step
weight?
down. With the weight.
Oof.
With my pack on with the 20 pounds in it. And then on my own, I would go to the gym like in the evening, maybe that same day or the next day, and I would do the Stairmaster, like on a level 6. And then I'd wear my pack with the weights for like 45 minutes. And then maybe the next day, I would do like 30 minutes and 10 weights, or 10-pound weights. And hands down, I felt so prepared because I have short legs and there are quite tall steps.
Oh, there
and
are.
doing those box jumps or step up, step down, step up, like really helped my hip mobility and also helped me mentally because I could see what was coming and knowing like, okay, I trained for this. I did, like, I can do this. And so I would pep talk myself up. But then I would also say, what would Brandon do? Because he was my trainer.
Shout out, Brandon.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I would do is run 3 times a week and then do training sessions and then do the Stairmaster. But I would always do it like with a pack on my back with either 20 pounds or 10 pounds.
So Stairmaster and the step ups and step downs, that's
Yeah.
what you think was the key today.
Oh, 100%. And like I did it for about an hour. So, my sessions and stuff. And then when I did the Stairmaster, it would be like 45 minutes or a half an hour.
And everybody talks about doing those kind of things.
Yeah.
And they talk about the steps. And if they've never been at the Grand Canyon before, they probably think we're talking about going up with the steps.
Right.
But those steps will take it out of you when
Yes.
you're going down them. So how much did those exercises help with the going down part?
Oh, so he would also have me like even do sideways, stepping down from the box jumps.
Yeah, that's
so
smart.
to help my knees.
Yeah.
And to help my hips. So it was interesting because there were a lot of times we were going down steps and we were going sideways today just to protect our knees and our hips. And so that
And so
really
you're already used to doing that.
Right, right. I was already used
That's
to
a
doing
great
that.
tip.
Yeah. So it was very helpful to step up, step down, but then also sideways.
With poles too?
No, I did not.
You didn't use poles?
No, I used poles during the hike, but not during my training.
Oh, sure, not during the
Yeah,
training, but
yeah.
but going
But during
down.
the hike,
So it
yes.
helped to go down sideways and using the poles to kind of take some more
because
weight
it protected my knees
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
absolutely.
We used the phrase today, plant and pivot.
Yeah,
I
plant
love
and
it.
pivot.
Plant the poles, pivot, and then step
And
down.
I could see
friend's
you guys
reference.
going down for you with the headlights on, the headlamps on, and
Yes.
plant and pivot, girls, plant and pivot.
Yes.
A mantra.
Yeah, it was definitely, and encouraging each other too
Yeah.
definitely helped. Like being each other's cheerleader.
Were you guys able to? So you come up here today to do South Kaibab to North Kaibab. You started at 2:07 a.m. because I was following you on Garmin inReach. 2:07
You were
a.m.
awake at 2:07.
I was. No, I wasn't, but I saw
he
that
saw
you
it come
started.
through.
I saw that you started, and then I thought, man, I'm just waking up here in Phoenix. I got to get ready, and then we got to drive and take our time getting to the North Rim, and they're still going to be hiking. That just shows you how long of a day it actually is. But you started at 2:07. Were you guys able to stay together for the most part? Was there
the
a
entire time.
Was there a plan beforehand? Did you guys talk about it?
So, you guys can chime in on
Yeah.
this, but my mantra when I hike, and this goes back to May of 2020 when I was out for a hike with my husband and Carrie and another friend of ours, and it's on a trail that we had done like a million times or a good amount of times. And I was half a mile from the parking lot and I stepped on a rock wrong and I broke my ankle, twisted it and broke my ankle. And so ever since then, I'm like, never hike alone. Never hike alone.
Yeah.
You know, just don't ever hike alone. So I feel like having friends with you and around you, and even if you're, I don't like to be like too far in front or too far behind, because you need to be conscious of what the others are doing. I'm like, no hiker left behind. That's what I feel like.
Okay, so you guys did. That was when you guys started today. That was the plan, that you're sticking
Yes.
together no matter
Oh,
what.
sure. What do you think, Carrie?
No, I agree. And so what we did was we had an order. What did you call it, Ashley? 1, 2, and 3.
Crazy 1, crazy 2, crazy 3, and crazy 4.
Love it.
So there was an order, and so we'd switch the order up, but we always made sure that we stuck together and we kept encouraging each other to
hallucinate
get
together.
through. Yes, we did hallucinate at times, but yes, we encouraged you.
Little
we
delusional.
encouraged one another to keep going forward. It works.
So seriously, someone was in the crazy one, and you guys
Yes.
just
And we
kept
would
switching
just
positions.
Switch positions.
That's a great plan.
Yeah.
And did that just happen like organically?
Yes. Yes.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Well, we're all pretty good friends, so
Beautiful.
yeah, it did happen pretty
It
organically.
did.
So you start at 207.
Yeah.
The sun's probably coming up when? As you get down below skeleton, maybe?
It came up, yeah, it was around skeleton, I think. Not quite. It was up at tip-off.
Bright Angel Outfitters is now Hike Tribe, a community for all of us. Join the tribe at hiketribe.club and our private Facebook group, Hike Tribe Grand Canyon, the official group of the Grand Canyon Hiker Dude Show. Hike Tribe. Let's go get it.
That can be tough hiking in the dark for that long. It gets old looking down at the artificial light. It gets old if you've been in the canyon,
Yes.
knowing what you're missing with the views, right?
Oh, I got some great night shots, though.
Oh, how great can they be? Come
They were
on.
beautiful. They were beautiful. The moon was out.
Oh, now that's beautiful.
And when we were
I didn't know
in
that.
September, we had no moon, so we had just had stars.
Just
but it was
stars.
absolutely gorgeous. And the one thing that all four of us remarked about is how many people were on the trail today.
Even at 2 o'clock?
Oh my
Yes.
gosh!
Really?
The taxi
Runners.
driver.
Oh,
with
the runners, yeah.
The
Yeah.
taxi driver told us we were not the first people he picked up.
No kidding.
He picked us up at 10 of 2, something like that, and he said that there was people that he picked up at 11:30. I don't know. Like I think we were his fourth pickup. And then there were so many people that were coming. It was like at one point you could just see this trail of lights.
The
And that is pretty cool.
It was, and we remarked that, like in September, we saw 3 people in the dark, wasn't it? That they.
In September, yeah, there was 3 people we saw.
That was it.
That was it.
And this time everyone was going one way. I doubt there was
Yeah.
anybody coming back
Right.
up, right?
Well, there were
at this
people
point?
coming back up as it got
From Phantom-
light.
from Phantom,
Yeah, from
yeah.
Phantom.
Later
on.
on.
But even then, there was in coming down today, dark and light. I mean,
What's that?
It was
what,
like
what was
a
that like?
lot of people.
What was that like after the darkness, seeing the light touch the canyon for the
Oh,
first
it's-
time? What were you guys saying to each other?
Spectacular colors.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. You know, you have to see it in person.
It's like, this is why we're doing it.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't think pictures do it justice.
Never.
It never does.
Never.
Like to see it with your eye, behold it with your own eye is like, it's like God just got a paintbrush and just did his work. I mean, it's amazing. You have to see it for yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what was the did you guys have a pace that you were trying to maintain? Was there a time goal at all? You know, having all done it before, you guys had to have a pretty good idea of what you were shooting for.
I think, I mean, for me, and I don't want to speak for these guys, but they can tell you what they think. For me, hiking for me is more about the journey and enjoying the surroundings. I don't necessarily need to set a pace. I mean, there are some things, like I knew that, like in September especially, when it was warm, I knew we needed to be at Phantom by a certain time and out because
'Cause of the heat.
it was going to get hot.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, those were the kind of goals we had then. And today it wasn't as much of that. All I said was, I don't want to be hiking out in the dark.
You almost made it.
Yeah. Well,
You had help.
Yeah.
Unfortunate help. But
We got out before it got dark today, but
so what time did you? What was the total time at the end of the day?
so I looked. So our total, if we had gotten out when we thought we were going to get out,
Yeah.
it would have been actually 15 minutes sooner than we had gotten out last year. So it would have been total time on trail would have been 15 hours and like 10 minutes.
Which is
something
pretty
like
much
that.
what you were expecting when you
Right,
started.
and our hiking time today, now, because that 15 hours includes, when every stop you
Yeah.
take and all that, our total hiking time was 14 hours and 8 minutes, so that we were actually moving.
Here's what I want to know, Jackie, and the rest of you as well. This is an important topic because Jackie introduced us all to the world of payday last year.
Oh, yes.
Right? So tell us your best fueling tips. I want to hear this from all of you guys. This is important. Everyone always wants to know, what do I need to pack? What should I leave at home? Payday was introduced to us last year. What do you got for us this year?
Okay. You want to start with me, or
You can start with the ringleader
okay.
here. Yes.
So this year, I brought my paydays, and I ate my
course.
paydays. I ate the paydays. Peanut butter.
She did offer to share them.
And I did offer to share them, yes. I brought with me, we have gotten now into this little ritual of making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches at night, because Carrie brings the bread, the peanut butter and jelly, and we make that, and that's usually our breakfast. Which can I digress just a minute?
Of course. That's all we do here.
And then we'll get back into the food thing. So speaking of breakfast, so we got up, we had to get up early, right?
Yes.
So last night, the four of us, well, actually the six of us, we were all staying in Tucson, and we went to bed. I was in bed at 7:30 thinking, I'm going to get a good solid 5 hours of sleep, right? No such luck. I got 1 hour of sleep because, little unbeknownst to me, it was happening down the hallway too. There were people running up and down the hallway, slamming the doors and banging on things, and I'm like, I was just beside myself. And Ashley termed me, what did you term me? You called me the...
Oscar the Grouch.
Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah.
When she saw me this morning, I was very grouchy. I said, I had 1 hour of sleep.
And now I got to go hike all the way across
yes.
the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, but she's maybe I won't say that.
Oh, no, say it. You already said it.
F-bomb like 3
do.
times.
Oh, Jackie, how dare you? We never say that around here.
I don't usually, but it was one of those things. I was very grouchy.
Understandable.
And anyway, so my breakfast. So before we go hiking, I want to have something in my stomach. So I'm like, oh God, I can't. And I was looking at the banana that I had, because I usually eat a banana before I work out. And I had to muscle that thing down, and I was like, this is not going well. And the peanut butter and jelly came with me. I ended up finishing it, and I cut it into 4 pieces because I thought, there's no way I'm getting this down anytime soon. But I did. So we had peanut butter and jelly, and then I brought beef jerky, mango habanero, really good. Get it at Costco, really good. I had a lot of carbohydrates, but I upped my protein this time. So I had that, and Carrie and I had a really good sandwich. We stopped in Flagstaff on the way up, and we didn't know we could order the sandwiches in halves, and we ordered whole sandwiches. We couldn't eat the whole sandwich. So I said, we should take the other half and bring it with us. So we each had our lunch at 7 a.m. this morning at Phantom Ranch.
Nice. Nice. What did you guys find out worked for you?
Well, I would definitely say beef jerky, because that's the salty. And then I brought Sour Patch Kids watermelon flavor.
Let's go.
For sugar, and then bread. Yes, but I would definitely say something sweet and something salty, and electrolytes.
Do you think it was effective today?
Oh,
that strategy?
100%. And I normally can bloat pretty easily, and I didn't feel bloated at all the entire time. And I definitely filled. So I had my bladder in my pack, but I also had a second, like a little water bottle on the side of my pack. So like when we stopped at stations that had water, I would fill up my water bottle with electrolytes and drink that before we would take off again. And then I would have my water in my pack in between, water stations. But I would definitely say something sweet, something salty, and electrolytes for sure.
Did you guys plan your stops? Was that part of like the spreadsheet? Like we're stopping here and...
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Well, you looked at the water where it was going to be turned
oh, that's
on
true.
and where
I
it was
did.
going to be turned off.
And interestingly enough, so yeah, I looked at the water last night because you know how the Park Service tells you where the water's turned on, and it said it was just Phantom Ranch and Manzanita, but it was turned on everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
Wait, was it on at Supai Tunnel?
Yep.
Oh,
and it was
surprising.
on. It was on at Cottonwood as well.
But not at the North Kaibab Trailhead.
No.
Well, you guys wouldn't have
No,
needed
we
it
wouldn't
by
need
then,
it anyway. But
it's
the
still out there.
the guys.
But Supai was on. That's the most
Yeah.
unreliable of all of them.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Rod and Tom came down with water bottles, and we ended up not needing them, so they gave them to some of the hikers that were coming through.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, so some of the planned stops, we always stopped where there was a bathroom, always.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always a planned stop. But
Always important to check the water the
Yep.
day of, because as you guys find
Yep.
out, it can change even
Yep.
even the day
Yeah.
of. So,
Yep.
okay, let's keep going down the line. What the best fueling options you guys came up with today?
For me, it's going to be peanut butter and jelly.
Before the hike and on the trail?
Yes, I'm a peanut butter junkie,
Yeah.
especially Justin's.
Justin's
I'm gonna
peanut
throw
butter.
it out there.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'd say what Ashley was saying, that the salt I definitely needed, and something sweet. But the electrolytes, I think, for me, really helped a lot with the fluids. Just the electrolytes were so important. But I'll go back to peanut butter.
Peanut
Yeah.
butter.
Peanut butter.
and we had,
Old
and you
people.
know, we had the cookies I made too. I made chocolate covered raisin oatmeal.
But it sounds like she should have made peanut butter cookies. Yeah.
She didn't have any problem eating those cookies either.
Okay.
Well, I started the day with Carrie's peanut butter and jelly sandwich. She brought bread and jelly and peanut butter. So we made those last night. So that was what our breakfast was. Jackie brought bananas. So I had to force myself to eat that at 1 o'clock tonight. And also started with electrolytes. And so I have the two little pockets on my pack. One had peanut butter pretzels. The other had like the Bob's Red Mill bars. And so what I do is I cut them in half, so I know each of them is like 100 calories. And I try to time it, so every 30 minutes I'm usually having at least 100 calories. So every 30 minutes and then an hour, so I'm keeping my glycogen stores going. And the same thing with Ashley, I have an extra bottle, so when we stop, I'll have electrolytes, plus salt tabs as we go.
And everybody's happy with the way it turned out.
Yeah, we were all on top
Good
of one
job.
another with the salt
That's
salt
amazing.
sticks and the electrolytes. We were making sure we were all drinking them and or sucking on the salt sticks.
I
And
had electrolyte salts like in a tube, so I would just kind of take a little shot of that and then drink my water, and that really helped.
Man, you guys are impressive. I hope everyone's listening to this, because the nutrition hydration thing is so hard for everyone to dial in. It's always changing, but you guys have experience in the canyon, so it's really cool that you guys seem to have really figured out what works for you. And what works for one might not work for the other. It's important to remember that. But you guys had a strategy, and it sounds like it worked. And I'm going to be going back and listening to this and taking notes, just like I did. I got some paydays in my pack for tomorrow morning, Jackie.
awesome.
Yeah,
and you got a
so-
couple cookies too.
and a couple cookies that you brought for me. I appreciate that. And maybe, I'll be doing that peanut butter and jelly thing here pretty soon too. So very good. Well, it's just a few hours removed. So you guys all have canyon experience as well. So how do you feel now physically compared to how you might have felt the first time? Do you think you got away with it? You think you got through it without having too much of a chance of having the famous canyon shuffle tomorrow morning?
Well, I can say for myself, as soon as one of the things that we actually did at every stop is we stretched. We were really good diligent about stretching and even massaging. Like Dr. Arnie says, he said he was saying something about putting your thumb in your calves and your feet, and so I was doing that. and we were stretching a lot. So that I think will help in the recovery. And then I also bring along with me my massage gun and a foam roller. So
Wait, on the trail?
no, not on the trail.
Okay. I was like, whoa, wait a second here. You could set
No.
up shop at
Yeah, I
Manzanita
could.
and make some money.
Right? I could.
You could.
I could. No, when we got back to the room, I used that. We had stretched. Actually, while we were waiting to leave the canyon for that hour and 20, we stretched quite a bit while we were there. And then when we got out, I got back to the room and I used the massage gun and I put my legs up on the wall. Laid on the bed and put my legs up on the wall. So I think I was a little more prepared this time than last time.
I'm really fascinated by the whole stretching thing, that you guys actually had the discipline and took the time to do something like that. And so that was regularly scheduled, like intervals that you did that?
I mean, it was when we stopped, right? I mean, it
Yeah,
was when
we stopped and you're like, oh, we should stretch. And so then the first stop, the first stop we didn't need to. But I think it was Phantom Ranch is where we were like, let's just stretch, because we knew we would be there a little bit for lunch, like about a half an hour.
And just for a minute or two?
Yeah, we stretched, and then we decided just to stretch from that point on. Any stops that we made.
I was doing hamstring. I was eating my sandwich and doing hamstring stretches.
Love it.
Yeah.
So.
Multitasking.
Yeah, that's very efficient.
I would say that at every potty break is when we stretched. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that was kind of stretching too, using the potty.
Right. Because you have to climb upstairs every time you go to use them.
Yes, you have to. That's right. You have to go.
You know, this is so interesting to listen to. And the difference between a group of women hiking and a group of men hiking. I mean, I'm telling you right now, if I'm hiking with 3 dudes, we're not worried about the bathroom stops and definitely not worried about stretching. But I think it goes to show you that the females are the smarter sex. Let's just face it, because this just makes sense.
We're just not going to disagree with you on that, Brian.
I mean, I am outnumbered here, but I do mean that, because that's just, you guys were intentional about the things that you did. Mm-hmm. You took everything seriously, right down to stretching during bathroom breaks. That is impressive, and I think there's a lot that. Well, what was that? What I missed there?
No.
I heard something from the.
No, you're right on.
No,
you're right
on.
Okay.
No, I mean, I think you have to be if you want to recover appropriately. And
it's not only about having a great hike, but the recovery after. If you do everything right, that's going to be better.
And I mean, the other nice thing about that, we did meet a lot of really nice people today. The camaraderie on. Not just the Grand Canyon hike, but any hike. You meet some really great people when you're out there hiking. You just really do. We were chatting with a lot of different people, and we would see them, we'd be leapfrogging one another, and, we'd chit-chat. We'd take pictures for them. They'd take pictures for us, that kind of thing. And yes, some people were stretching other than us, too. And there were some guys that were stretching. Just saying.
Yeah. Okay, good. Good to hear. Good to hear. I'm going to be inspired by that in a couple hours here when I hit the trail to head back to the South Rim. Guys, this has been amazing sitting here with you in the Grand Canyon Lodge on opening night. We can look back across the canyon right now and see all the lights on the South Rim. It's another world up here. God, isn't it just amazing? And you guys get to finally get to bed. And wake up tomorrow, and I assume breakfast, and then you're out of here, or what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're gonna do breakfast, and then we're gonna take our time driving, hit a couple places on the way back, and then we're gonna go to the South Rim and probably walk around a little bit, and then we're back in Tucson, and we're staying at the hotel we stayed at. And we're going to get in the hot tub.
Let's go.
Because that's good recovery, too.
This is cool. It's such a cool story. You guys you're just taking your time. This is an entire experience, and it continues tomorrow, and it continues until you're out of here 2 days from now. That's, man, this is inspiring stuff. So grateful for you guys taking the time, because I know it has been a long day in more ways than one. I know you're ready to get to bed, but the insight that you've shared here today with our community is so appreciated, because I know there were so many takeaways that people are going to have from this. Just last thing before we go, Is Jackie and the Crazies coming back for another round together now that you guys have all done it together? Is this going to become a regular thing now that you've done it together?
Yeah, I think we should have T-shirts made now that you just
You
said
have
that.
to.
Jackie and the
You have to.
Crazies.
Jackie and the Crazies. Let's go.
You're funny. She was the, so just, I got to tell you, the one girl that took pictures for us down at Phantom Ranch, she was hysterical. She took a bunch of pictures for us under the Phantom Ranch welcomes you sign. And what did she say? She said, first she wanted to know, who's the instigator? And everybody pointed to me.
Chief Crazy.
And then who was the fastest? And we all pointed to Carrie, I think. Mm-hmm. And then who was the slowest? We pointed to Kendra. And then who was the funniest? And we pointed to Ashley.
Perfect. Everyone has a role.
Yes.
So it was good.
Everyone has a role under the Crazy umbrella. All right.
And that's why it works together. We work.
You guys do work, so I want to see you back. Jackie and the Crazies with the shirts next time, right? Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
It was nice to meet you.
Likewise. Jackie and the Crazies. Jackie Kunkel, Kendra Yost, Carrie Repke, and Ashley Young. We are so grateful they took the time for us after a physically and emotionally exhausting day. Well, the hiker who passed on North Kaibab has been identified as 74-year-old Dennis Smith of Olympia, Washington. He's described as an avid and experienced hiker, which tells us he was doing what he loved. No cause of death has been released, but we know it was not a particularly warm day, and there's no need to speculate really beyond that. Well, folks, the heat is coming. The long-range forecast from Arizona Weather Force is showing the potential for a dangerous heat wave at the end of May into early June. We're talking temperatures in the hottest parts of Arizona reaching 110 to 120 degrees. And that can, of course, include the inner canyon, especially at the river and through the box and the frying pan. Again, if you are hiking north to south, especially this year, you must take extreme precautions because Bright Angel Trail is inaccessible from the bottom until at least the 1st of October because of the Trans-Canyon Waterline Project. That will force north to south Rim2Rimmers up the far more dangerous South Kaibab Trail, which you should not start up under any circumstances until at least around sunset if you're a one-day Rim2Rimmer. If you're starting from the bottom from Bright Angel Campground or from Phantom Ranch, you could, of course, start very, very early in the morning, like 2 or 3 a.m., and get out before the heat really takes hold. South Kaibab is steep. It is exposed. There is little shade during the day, and there is no water available anywhere on the trail. You're talking 6.5 miles from Black Bridge, where you will gain nearly a mile in vertical feet. Do not find yourself on that trail midday. Our recommendation is to wait out the heat of the day at Phantom Ranch or in Bright Angel Creek or at Boat Beach, somewhere you can stay out of the sun. And only then, when it's very late in the evening and the sun is setting, should you really start up South Kaibab and finish then in the dark. Yeah, it is not ideal, but it is the safest option. And please do not think you're gaming the system by cutting across the Tonto Trail to connect with Bright Angel. Tonto is also no place to be in the middle of a hot day for the same reasons as South Kaibab. To learn more about the closures and how you can come up with the safest strategy for your group, please go back and listen to episodes 73 and 75 of this podcast, episodes 73 and 75, where we break it all down in detail. Please be safe out there. Hikers die of heat-related issues every year in the canyon, and this year has presented the most dangerous circumstances yet. So please, please take all precautions and take it very, very seriously. By the way, south to north hikers should take heed of the usual heat warnings as well. There are plenty of dangerous spots on North Kaibab too. Remember that shade is your friend, and you can use our Grand Canyon Shade Tracker to see when and where the shade will be on every route in the canyon at any time of any day. It is a free tool, the Grand Canyon Shade Tracker. Find it at gcshadetracker.com, gcshadetracker.com. Well, the weather can only add to the stress of a Grand Canyon hike this time of year. especially for those of you who have had this on your bucket list for a while. And it might have you wondering if you've done enough. And maybe right now you're pushing too hard toward the finish line physically. That's why Coach Arnie says you should draw a distinction between being fit and being healthy.
So here's a Coach Arnie rule. I would rather you be 100% healthy versus 80% fit. Look, you're under pressure. You got a big trip. For some of you, this is it. You're coming from a long way. You've invested money, plane fees, all kind of things, time off from work. So I get it. You're not sure. Have I done enough? Have I done enough? So the trap then is that last minute push. My advice, don't do it. Don't do it. Look at your training. You either did enough or you didn't. Catching up is a fool's bet. Did you hear me? Catching up is a fool's bet. That's how injuries happen. That's how overtraining happens. So here's my last bit of advice. Trust your training, rest, or modify your trip, or don't go. That's pretty much it. Because if you try to hammer through and get injured and then try to do the ibuprofen or the cortisone shuffle, that's a loser's bet as well. And you're risking your health. So again, these are some tips for you last minute thinkers and hikers and adventurers. And I hope it helps. I love you and I want you to have great adventures and I want you to come back. Love you guys.
Coach Arnie Fonseca Jr., exercise physiologist and canyon coach. His contact information is in the show notes. And when Arnie says to reach out, trust me, he means it. He'll actually answer the phone or call you back. I mean, who does that in 2025, right? All right, that's it for now. My name is Brian Special, encouraging you as always to go hike the canyon. Take that first step. Embrace the journey. And when you get there, whether it's for time goals or taking your time, just hike your own hike and savor every step in the majestic Grand Canyon. We'll see you next time on the Grand Canyon Hiker Dude Show.